Hey everybody, this is Gordon Overkill, and since I had some problem with the recording of this episode, I am going to record a new audio for this one. So the whole video was recorded in twice the normal speed. I don't know why, so the audio and video did not fit. Let's do a new one. So in this episode we were flying through a rock controlled sector. And the first thing that came to my mind was that it was really hard to get a nice route through this sector, because up here there is no way back, down there is no way back, and so I decided to do something like an S up here in order to get as many jump beacons as possible. Okay, it seems like it took me some time to figure that out. Anyway, I thought about flying to this beacon directly, but then I would not have got a good route, and so I decided finally on that one. Apart from that, to remind you from the last episode, the speed metal just bought a crew teleporter, which is quite nice, I think, in combination with the Mantis and the Rockman on board. And here is directly the first fight. A rock scout which attacked. You can see that this scout is heavily armed with energy weapons and a rocket launcher, but they do not have a medical bay, and I wanted to take advantage of this fact. So what did I do? I used the Iron Blast, I think, in order to shoot the enemy shields. And I started the anti-ship drone, and I do not exactly know why. Anyway, during this episode I changed my drone using habits a little. Seems maybe it was just from routine that I started the anti-ship drone at this moment. Anyway, the Iron Blast should punch down the shields. The ship drone should damage the ship, and I think that I directly teleported my guys into the weapon room, yeah, in order to put down his 4 mighty weapons. A Rockman came in to defend the weapons, but Mantis and Rockman against Rockman is of course advantage. Okay, in the beginning I also had some problems with the energy. I had to put down systems which I generally did not want to put down, for example the engines, because that reduces the evasion chance, of course, but however. Okay, here comes the rocket flying towards us, so I tuned down the anti-ship drone and activated the defense drone instead, so it might stop the rocket. That's a nice trick that I was told on the faster than light board, but as you can see, the drone parts are quite limited, just 8 drone parts. So impossible to do that too often. Those both guys were quite heavily injured, so they were teleported back onto the ship and afterwards back into the weapon room in order to stop the last crewman of the enemy. I was not quite sure how many crewmen he had, because the speed metal still had sensors on level 1, so they cannot look inside the enemy ship. Anyway, they managed to kill the enemy crew, and that gave a nice bonus on scrap. That's the best thing about boarding the enemy ships, that you get a lot more scrap from it than from destroying. And you could even get some functional systems that you could loot afterwards. So I directly upgraded the sensors at this point, because I wanted to know what enemies to expect if I teleport my guys in there. Everything repaired. Then I made a little mistake. As you can see, I put both these guys into the engine room at first, and now the shields are manned too. So next jump, and that's going to be a tricky one, can already tell you. A rock scout within an asteroid field, and he has got a very heavy missile launcher. He's got the Mark II blast laser, which is very strong, and this one is also quite tricky. I hoped that I would somehow be able to to destroy his med bay and then teleport my guys in. So at first I do not even use them, but one of his first hits directly put the drones on fire, and then I recognized, damn, that puts the defense drone down, because the defense drone was on was somewhere on the wrong position. I hope to keep the defense drone up, so I had to change it again. And I opened the doors in order to stop the fire, which did not really work. The fire, it took too long, and I forgot to open the second door, which was also a little mistake. But anyway, I saw that this was not going as I hoped it would. Now drones are totally out, and the fire is also out, but without the drones it's impossible to hit these guys. I had damaged their med bay, but I don't think that was help. I could have teleported the other guys over there, but I preferred to jump away and flee, because you see the ship already took heavy damage, and I did not want to risk dying to those guys. Well, next jump was an empty one, which was not too bad, because the drones were still not repaired. So everything's repaired and working again. Everybody back to their stations. And then the journey could continue. Next waypoint was two mantle ships fighting, and after the fight our ship decided to attack the winner. Now with the sensors you can see that we can see the rooms and the crew of the enemy. He's got an NG here, Mantis. Here I think it's two Mantises and one NG, and two Mantises who just teleported into our ship. And as you can see, they teleported into the room which was already vacuumized, so that's not so good for him. I thought about letting the boarding crew fight these guys at first, but then I thought, no, that's not necessary. Rather let them take the enemy ship and let the vacuum deal with the enemy boarders. I think that was not a bad decision. It worked quite fine, if I remember correctly. You will recognize that now you do not hear the game sound. That's a little bad, but it's because I cannot really record single audio tracks and then combine them with the video again. I don't know how that works, and so I just play the video on YouTube at the moment and talk something to it. So those guys, as you can see, they made it to the drone room, which was not too bad, because I only needed the defensive drones. So even if they managed to destroy one or two drone parts, then it would still have been working. But they teleported away after the air was out of that room. Meanwhile, my own boarding troop was brought back to the ship, healed, and again teleported to the enemy ship. Then you can already see heavily injured enemy fighters had no chance. That was definitely my plan for this episode, to focus a little more on the boarding crew in order to make more scrap. That was very important, because we left out lots of chances to get scrap in the last sectors, so we definitely had to start with improving our ship now. That was a lucky jump with lot of scrap and stuff. One problem, as you can see, is the rather damaged hull, and there is no store to be seen where it could be fixed. And this was a really close jump. I was lucky that I did not have to fight the rebels there. But anyway, it was a very good one, because it gave missiles, drone parts and scraps at first, and afterwards even another fight against a rock ship. So that's very, very good loot for a single fight. So this ship had a beam weapon and an ordinary energy weapon, so they could not really pierce the 3 layers of shield. That was a rather easy fight, that was clear from the beginning. And also they did not have a medical base, so the boarding troop could directly go inside. First guy already out. Now teleported back once, healed, and then it was crystal clear they would teleport back, and then the enemy would have lost the game, lost the fight. So teleporter's recharged, boarding troop is inside again, and soon afterwards the fight was over. 48 scrap and a new crew member, which was of course a Rockman, and which proved everybody right who said I should not have bought that Rockman in the earlier episode. Now we would have had one anyway, so well. However, this is maybe quite nice to have a backup Rockman. It doesn't hurt at least, and I know for the next time that I should not buy so many crew members. Next thing to do was improve the engines and energy. Now engines 4 is already a lot better than it was quite some time ago. Still not enough, but definitely a lot better. This was one more empty jump, so directly continue to the next beacon. And there, luckily, we were able to buy some fuel. Fuel was down to 7 before, and I was already wondering, hoping to get something new. From here on, it was just 2 more possible jumps, and the first one brought a pirate ship with 3 shields, Mark II laser, and a beam weapon and an iron weapon, which is quite strong weapons. Well, I do not exactly remember how did I do it. We'll see. I did not start any drone, which was not necessary, or did I? Anti-ship drone? Okay, I did. I started the anti-ship drone. Oh. Interesting. Well, maybe because I wanted to get their weapons. I know why. Because they've got a med bay, and this med bay had to be destroyed before I teleported my guys over there. Okay. Well, this one destroyed the enemy bridge. Very nice. Fire on their weapons. Oxygen also destroyed, or at least harmed, and now the med bay was out. That's what I was waiting for. So the boarding troops directly teleported into the med room, so they cannot repair it. I do not know why I got them out there. That was not. They should have stayed in the metal kill room. Now I have to turn out the drone because I almost destroyed that ship. I'm glad I thought of that. That would have been really bad if I had killed the guys inside the enemy ship. Anyway, the guys are back in the med station to heal. First enemy soldier is already dead. I know that they cannot harm the ship, so this is a really relaxed fight. They get back to the med bay. That was the only thing I was afraid of, that I hoped they would not be able to repair the med bay before I get my boarding troop back. But it worked. Here they were. And so the enemies were lost and out. Easy fight without any damage. And which is very nice, the Hermes missile system. Also takes 3 energy points, so this is an alternative weapon to the Iron Blast Mark II. And as you can see, at this point there were already 32 missiles saved, so this is a very nice finding, I think. Especially against enemies with more shield layers, such missiles are very nice to take them out. Or to directly damage a certain system. Last jump to the long range beacon. And this again gave a very nice finding, which is the shield charge booster. Very nice. I decided not to buy anything from the remaining scrap, but instead take it with me to the next sector. Maybe there would be a store soon to repair the hull, which was not be too bad. And the next sector to go to was the Mantis controlled sector, because I did not want to go into the nebula again. I've learned my lesson. So, that's it. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I hope the next episode will work better. Also from sound and so. So, see you guys.